Umxolisi Nxasana, the former National Director of Public Prosecutions, says his relationship with the former President Jacob Zuma soured when he requested that Advocate Nomgcobo Jiba and Lawrence Mrwebi be suspended. Nxasana says that the former president instead sent through communication to institute proceedings into looking into his fitness to hold office. Our reporter Sindisiwe Twala is in Parktown and she joins us live. A very good afternoon to you, Sindisiwe. Before we go into a summary of what this morning's proceedings have been about, the advocate did ask for an earlier break because time was needed to go through some documentation and to discern and to decipher, I guess, the turn of events and how they transpired. Won't you brief us as to why this break is taking place?
Yes, evidence leader advocate Paul Pretorius requested an earlier adjournment to basically look at the chronological order to help familiarize the witness on the stand, Mr. Umxolisi Nxasana, of what exactly took place, when and how, before he draws the link between his request to the president and the subsequent fitness to hold office investigations into his own fitness. So that is what the break was for. But also, there's a recording that was played that was between one police officials and one official from the NPA at the time, basically communicating about a request by Nomgcobo Jiba to dig up dirt on Umxolisi Nxasana, to also present this evidence to the former president or whoever, so that he be removed from the National Director of Public Prosecution position. So that is essentially the reason why the adjournment, to get a better audio or to improve the audio of the recording and to decipher the chronological order of the happenings at the NPA.
And what have been the major highlights and revelations that have transpired this morning?
Besides the tug of war that seems to have been happening, coveted between Advocate Nomgcobo Jiba, Lawrence Mrwebi, plotting to oust him from his position. From when he took up office, there were rumors that an investigation was, or an investigation to look into his fitness was being taking place, such as digging up his former case in terms of murder. We know that that murder case he was acquitted of, as well as looking at the assault, common assault that he was eventually convicted of in 1987, if I'm not mistaken. So these are the two things that were looked at. He says that even before he took up being an attorney, it's something that he did in fact disclose. But let's take a listen to what transpired. What he was talking about happened immediately after he requested that Nomgcobo Jiba as well as Lawrence Mrwebi be suspended by the president.
In July 2014, I then received communication from the president. I remember it was very late at night. It came through my email. He was advising me that he had taken a decision to institute a commission of inquiry to determine my fitness to hold office as the National Director of Public Prosecution.
When you say you were informed, how were you informed? Was it directly by the president or was it through his legal representatives?
No, it was through his personal assistant. I cannot recall the name of this young man. His personal assistant. He sent me the email and I received it on my handset. I responded by acknowledging receipt of it and noted the contents.
Cindy, if you could give us some perspective as to the reasons why Nxasana believes there was so much animosity between the trio, being himself, Jiba and Mrwebi.
Yes, having listened to that, that is the communication he received subsequently after he requested the former president to institute a suspension between Advocate Nomgcobo Jiba as well as Lawrence Mrwebi. He says that after sending through this request, the former Minister of Justice, Michael Masuta, asked him a question as to what he had done to alleviate this tension, because he mentioned that it was even playing out in the media fray. So coming back to that particular voice clip that we heard, he's basically saying the timing cannot just be odd, that immediately after I request that these two juniors of mine be suspended, then this thing from the president is sent through to me that an investigation into my fitness be taken place. Then he immediately says that there seems to have been some form of a correlation. We also heard earlier on, he mentioned that there were talks in the media space that there seems to be a rift within the NPA. There seems to be the former President Jacob Zuma faction, that being Lawrence Mrwebi as well as Nomgcobo Jiba, and him being on the other side. So he says that there seems to have been some form of link to him requesting that these two be suspended and the commission being instituted to look at his fitness to hold office.